Right, we're live. Okay, so this week is all about go lives and how to do them effectively to grow your business, pass on value, etc., etc.
Yeah, we it's a good one to kick off with because with Bry just doing his first one, definitely knows how nervous it can get, but then how good it can feel after, I guess. Did you feel good after that one, Bry?
Yeah, I felt good after it, but like halfway through it, when you start talking more, like you're like, this is actually okay. But I think your first live is remember what to say. Just remember what to say because I was just forgetting what I was supposed to say a few times. I think I repeated stuff a few times as well.
Yeah, I mean, not so much now. Now I've got into go lives, but when I first started doing them, the first couple of months of doing them, if I was inside, I'd just have a couple of notes, like an A4 sheet of paper with maybe 5 main points written on it. That helped me, and I know myself that your mind can just go blank in an instant.
Yeah.
So if you've just got one thing written down, like I don't know, you was talking about how you've seen the life that you can have from it. If you just write one thing down on that piece of paper, like lifestyle or something like that, your mind goes blank. You can just see that there, and then just sort of go on about that. What your thoughts are about that?
Yeah, it was a couple of points I was talking about on there, like about like if you're going on a bus to go like a trip somewhere, you can just jump on a plane and go wherever you want, and not have to worry about coming back again.
Yeah. So it's just like your first one. It was really good. Are you telling your story? But we've also seen a couple more in the last week because we spoke about it last Wednesday, didn't we, Tom?
Yeah.
Seen Grant do a few as well recently. I saw your just going off on one, Grant. I saw your Insta story this morning with your head under your machine.
I was loving it, mate. Absolutely loving it.
Well, yeah, you're quite comfortable in doing go lives and talking about the products and the company as well, aren't you, Grant?
Yeah, to be fair, when I first started looking at doing my video recordings and go lives, I got an idea of a travel channel. This couple, I think it's Homeless and Happy or something. And they used to, at the beginning, they'd hold a card up with like the topic that they were going to read about, so it's right against there, so you only see the card. And then on the back, they had like 3 keywords, so that they could look at the keywords beforehand to kind of refresh their mind. Obviously, the camera didn't see it. It was great when you first started out.
Yeah, that is a good tip or trick, I guess. It's just like I just said it. If you've got something there, it just refreshes your mind. And then after a certain amount of go lives, like, I don't know, 3, 5 or 10 or whenever you're ready, you can comfortably get rid of that piece of paper giving your ideas and just the words will just flow out in whatever way they do. And it's nothing to be ashamed of when you stutter or anything on a go live. It just shows that you're a real person. You know, we're not all just working off a script here, and yeah, that's what I think about when you first start out with go lives. And even now, sometimes I don't have a plan and I'll write a couple of notes down, and other times I just let it flow out, and whatever comes out. If you stutter, forget about it. It just shows that you're real if you stutter, and yeah, that's my take on them. Have you got anyone else got anything to add on that as well?
Yeah, definitely. So I voluntarily hosted the 30-day fast track yesterday, and I did the go live in the 30-day group just to tell everybody it was still on, and like I was fine doing the actual mastermind, but I was absolutely bricking it doing the go live because
you were good at it. It was all good. Like went well.
But I hosted the mastermind where I was giving information to people perfectly fine, but when I clicked that go live button, I was fucking shitting my pants.
Because when you go live, it's directly at you, and you have to do the talking. Everything is about you, and you're just like, okay, what if I go wrong here? What if I forget what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess it's like, I don't know. I just thought of this, but like if you, I mean, we're all adults, so if you if you're new to swimming or something like that, I guess you're just throwing yourself in the deep end, and then you just deal with it and let it sort of and let it sort of whatever happen.
Aaron, did you say swimming?
You
I
are.
thought you said swinging. Did you say swimming or swinging?
Swimming.
Swimming, okay. I was going to say.
I've not tried swinging yet, Grant.
I was going to say, I don't have enough experience in that, mate.
I guess it's the same concept. You just keep yourself in.
It's going to be very comfortable to do a go live for swinging.
Lily's just put on, just going back to writing notes and things, Lily's just put on the chat that she uses sticky notes around the laptop to help her keep on track, which is another good thing because the people that you're talking to on the live won't see those sticky notes, and you're always looking at your computer screen anyway, so why not have a few notes on there to help you the way along. I think we discussed that last time we discussed Go Lives, but I forgot that myself. It's definitely a good idea.
I think my biggest advice with going live is just doing it. Don't think too much about it. Don't think, oh, what if this, what if that. There's no what ifs. There's just do it. Once you click that button and you're live, then it's just a case of opening your mouth and getting your message out.
Yeah. I mean, if people are looking to do a lot of Go Lives as well, what I would say is, if you've not got one already, get a selfie stick if you're out and about. Just go down the park or anywhere that looks better. I mean, I'm one that needs to start doing that because I just think if you're inside, people will just recognise it more if they're scrolling on their news feed and it's something about our business and you're doing a Go Live and you're outside in the sun or whatever. I just think people more likely to maybe give it a watch. It doesn't have to be anywhere spectacular, just in your back garden even. And one thing that I've done it's actually here, my selfie stick. When I've got it like that, I've even stuck a sticky note there. So you can't actually see it I hope when people are watching me, but it's on the camera there and I'm looking at it just below it, and it's just an idea, that's all, to give people a bit more, like Bryce said, sometimes if your mind goes blank, you start to sort of wonder what to say next.
Like, in my head, I knew what I was going to talk about, but when I got on, I was like, I forgot what I was. Once the first few lines went out, then I was like, wait a minute, what else was I going to say? Then you're sitting there and everyone's watching you. And you're like, what can I talk?
Yeah, definitely.
How's it going, Ian?
How you going, Brian? You alright, mate?
Oh, good, mate.
I bet you feel amazing now, don't you, after that?
I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, I know you do alright, mate. I like, just press that button, just press it.
Yeah, I see your message, just put a button. I started laughing at it. But I went on to hit it. I didn't. It's kept all these details are coming up, and it was like scheduled for 11 minutes past 6, and then I'm like, what? And then it popped up something about signal. I was like, what the fuck?
We were all sat waiting for you. We're like, come on, Ray, you can do it.
I was like, where is he? Get him up. He ran away.
Did well, mate.
Lily Best pulled you up here, James.
Yes, I've done Go Lives. I haven't done one today.
Actually, I remember your ice cream truck one.
My ice cream truck one, and then there was the one before it as well. And that was the one before it. I went to go and do it, and Rich and Rye jumped on a Go Live, and I thought, oh well, I won't go live while they're live. And I sat there, and they went on for like 50 minutes. I was like, oh, I drank up 3 coffees while I was waiting for them.
Still your thunder, mate.
Yeah, well and then I did one when we were in Germany as well. I did 2 in Germany.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. You did.
One of them was a bit guffy, but
you were hammered for half of the trip, so.
Yeah.
Any tips for doing going outside?
Go live outside. I guess I think getting somewhere, go somewhere where there's not too many people lurking about. Because the first time I did it outside, and I mean, that was when Rich and Rye went on. To be fair, and my initial place where I was going to go and do it wasn't really probably the best place to do it because there was so many people just walking about and everything. And then, of course, if you see someone you know, and then they might interrupt you. So perhaps just like Adam said, really, just find somewhere fairly sort of like maybe quiet, like a park or something like that, and and just walking and talking maybe. I think I think like because when you're on a phone, and I tend to walk, and I end up miles away from where I started, but I think I find it easier to talk and walk, to be honest. So yeah,
I'm the same, James. And if anyone's watching who is fairly new and thinking, why do we bang on about go live so much? Is that when a go live is done, people on your Facebook get the notification straight away, and they also the go live actually, I believe, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Tom or anyone else, that it goes to the top of the news feed of maybe one of your Facebook friends, and does it stay there for either 12 hours or 24 hours or something like that?
It does take priority over other content because it was like authentically produced on Facebook. It wasn't uploaded, it wasn't shared, it was authentic, so Facebook do push it more. And James can corroborate this as well, but he saw like tenfold the amount of views and interactions with his go lives than he did with his other content.
Yeah, I mean, massively. I mean, it's definitely worth doing it to your personal page and then sharing it to your fan page. And like Tom said, I mean, the amount of views I got. My very, very first go live, which I had to take down for one reason or another. But when I woke up in the morning after it was I'd done it, I had 2,500 views. I mean, like, and that's just overnight, literally on my, which is insane. And then even that one, I mean, the one I did in the car, I mean, I think that's knocking on. I think it's over 1,000 views now. And I've had people message me, like people I know and stuff like that, and asking me more information about what we're doing. And I had a message tonight from someone as well asking me about, they're moving back from Dubai, and they want to look into something, setting something up over here, and it's as a result of my go lives and stuff like that is why they're contacting me. So yeah, they're really important to do.
Yeah, Lily's just put in there that 2,000 views and didn't cost you a penny. So anyone catches that, are you talking about the business, and that could lead to maybe them joining us at CEO, and it could lead to them maybe becoming affiliated as well. So free advertising as far as that goes, and that gets shared as well. I guess, James, it might have got shared a few times. That's why you got up to that figure. And I mean, if you're happy with the go live and you're doing anything business related, like explaining any part of our business, you can always send that off to any prospects maybe that might want to join us. You could just fire it off from your business page to them if they ask for more information. And you don't have to maybe, if you explain what we do quite well, you would cut maybe 5 or 10 messages out of that prospect just to say, hey, are you up for watching a quick 2-minute, 5-minute video of what we do? I've done this before myself. And they say, yeah, send it over. You send it over, and that could make sense to them instead of going backwards and forwards all day long explaining what we do, if that's what you do your go live about.
Yeah, like people could be on work and they could be on a break, and if it's like a 5-minute long video explaining about the business, and then they could go on and just watch it in their spare time, and they could be like, wait a minute, I could go on and check this out here, possibly lead till a sale. So just do it.
Yeah, spot on, Harry. It does indeed. It shows you're a real person as well if you're sending videos. I know Alicia, when she came through Lily, she was asking Lily if she was a robot or if she was real. Because it was messages, there was no person behind the text other than a profile picture.
Yeah, definitely.
I think another thing, if you're slightly nervous about doing them as well, then it might be worth considering maybe talking to others in the group and even doing a joint one. You know what I mean? So you could, decide a topic and then just have a discussion like Ryan Rich did, just chat between yourselves, because then you're not talking to people like watching, so to speak. You're talking to somebody you know and you can relate to, and you're just having a conversation about a topic, and then obviously people will then just be watching the pair of you, so it takes the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah,
definitely worth considering.
Definitely, James. And if there's no one at that point that can jump on with you, maybe just have a little conversation with the actual audience who are watching. Ask them a couple of questions. Say, what would you rather prefer, an online business, or would you rather, like, just going off what I said, what would you rather prefer, an online business, or would you rather work for the next however many years? And then just put comment below which you'd rather do. Then you get the comments in, you can verbally respond to the comments there and then. So that's another way of getting a bit of interaction and getting a bit of conversation out of the audience as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing about the organic reach of go lives is that if someone is watching a go live that isn't yours, and your page falls within a similar category as the go live they've just finished watching, they do get like 2, maybe 3 or 4 like recommendations of go lives happening right now to go and watch. So you could just end up getting random people clicking through to your page and just resonating with everything you're saying, and you're just getting organic leads and organic sales through that.
Yeah, true.
I had sorry about the camera, I don't know why it's over there, but I think I'm over one. But anyway, I had a call earlier with somebody that watched one of my go lives from the middle of March, and he sent a message and was like, I like what you're offering, basically. Can we get on a call? And we had like a half an hour chat earlier. Yeah, and that was from the middle of March. Don't even know which video. And he was asking me questions about the video that I did. And I was like, I didn't really know what he was talking about, but yeah, it went really well. I messaged Adam because he's not on my lead sheet or anything. I don't really know who he was. He just sort of got in touch. So it just shows, like, I think it's very easy to get too stuck to the fact that if you do a go live, you need the results that same day or the day after, but it's not that. It's like a body of work, and you'll get people messaging you saying like, oh, you've improved a lot on camera. What is it that you're doing? Because if they see you improving on the camera, they instantly associate you with success and being really good at what you do. So when you do introduce the idea of an online business, in my opinion, they take you more seriously, which is never a bad thing. So
yeah, it just shows as well, Josh. So that we're in March, we're at.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know which video. I don't even know what page it was on or what it was. But yeah, he was just like, oh yeah, I saw your video, and I was like, cool. So
yeah, it's good. It's like 3 months ago, and people are still taking notice of that and watching it and contacting you from it is the main point about it.
Yeah, and if you keep doing them, so say like you just do them every week at a set time, or just do one a day. I also have people message me saying like, I can see, as I said, I can see your progress. What is it you actually do? Because even though we all know that an Agic is like amazing, the CEO is amazing, some people take more convincing than just a written advert and then going onto a lead sheet. Some people, not everybody obviously, but there's going to be a percent of people you can target that just like watching videos as well. And if you just have the content out there, there's always a chance of being found. Whereas if the video's not out, you don't have to do it. Obviously, you can run adverts, which works as well, but it's a free option, as Lily said, and anything for free is always good, in my opinion.
What I'd like to add to that, Josh, is that the business that we're in with a Nagic, it's all about building passive income, and passive income by definition is income based on past action. And what Josh is explaining there is by definition exactly what passive income is. He's done work in March and now he's getting people interested in signing up with him because of what he did back then. It's got nothing to do with what he's doing now. It's just what he's done then. And they've just happened to come through being like, yeah, this is interesting. Let's get more info.
Yeah, and it's like if you ran an advert in March that didn't work, so you turn it off obviously because the costs get too high. That means you're only running adverts now, which again will still work. Whereas if you have a video that's always there, like you just don't have to delete it. It's there for literally forever until your page goes. You never know what message you could be sending. Somebody could just jump on at any time and see the exact message they need to hear at that time, which will lead to more sales, which is great.
Definitely.
So one thing we wanted to touch on was what stops people from doing go lives. Like, what is it that whenever you feel like doing one, like you've just read a book and you've got this massive idea for sharing value with the community, what is it that stops you pressing that go live and sharing that value?
At first, for me, I think when I was wanting to do a go live, even if I had the subject sorted out, I think the fact that it's called a go live kind of puts you off because you think, well, if I don't get anybody who comes on actually live, and I think you kind of forget, well, you know, once it's up there, and people are going to come on after as well.
Yeah.
But when I kept saying to myself, I've got to do a go live, writing down, I've got to do a go live. I think the fact that it was live, that really, it didn't put me off. It's just, it made me second guess what I wanted to do. Be like, well, I could go on and nobody will speak to me. But 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, you know, everybody else is doing a live. That's not the fact. Especially with a group like ours, you'll always get some type of engagement.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, anybody that follows you or is friends with you, or if it's your page, follows your page, likes your page, the second you click that go live, if they haven't set it to not get notifications, then they're going to get a notification that you're live. So out of those, however many followers you have, at least one person's always going to click to watch, even if it's just for a couple minutes.
And even if they don't, I think it's just great practice. I've done countless live videos because one thing you'll find is if you do them all of the time, so like if you do one every day, certain people just will stop tuning in. It's just unfortunately the way it is. It's like watching the same TV program every day. No one really does that. Some do, but some don't. But I found it really useful for confidence that if you can just enjoy speaking to the camera about a topic you care about over and over, eventually when the viewers do come back or you want to make an actual published video for an advert, it's a lot easier because you have the speaking skill developed from just speaking to a camera, which sounds easy, but at the start it's just very different. It's like even this like is a skill. I think just being able to communicate via, even in this chat's definitely a skill that everybody's going to develop, which is good in itself.
Yeah, so I agree with that, Josh. I mean, from when I first did mine to freely speaking now on a go live, the only way you improve, or maybe not even improve, you just get more comfortable in front of the camera, is by doing it all the time. It's a bit of both, really. I guess you do improve slightly, but you're just more relaxed after you've done a certain amount, maybe. And when you're relaxed, I just think everything comes out better, and you can just take your time with speaking and things like that.
Yeah, it's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's building confidence, and then being like, well, the people at the other end, 99% of the people that will watch it and are going to be encouraging you and wanting you to do well. But you're going to get the odd person that is not want you to fail, but some will. I've got friends who have jumped on, and they, I've said to you a couple of you guys before, they come on, and they're shouting bantery stuff at me and all the rest of it, but it's kind of like, that's really for me. Before, I would, I'd give them banter. That's just the way our relationship is. So I have to delete some of the comments because it's like I can't have it on there because I don't want nieces and people seeing it. But yeah, it's just confidence, and it just comes with time, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that won't last forever, James. Like, so many people in January putting on my videos, get a real job, why are you doing this, blah, 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 all of that. And if I do one now, it's just, they're just never even tune in, they never even watch because you just silence them with success sort of thing. And when everybody works through an AGIC 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, it's going to happen eventually. Yeah. And I think it's a really good thing to have that documented from the start. And it's quite nice. I know it sounds like, I don't know the word really, but it's nice to see them go quiet. It really is. It's like very fulfilling for me. That might be a bad thing, but
I don't think it is, Josh. It's like, you know, we've all been there, even me and you. When I mean, I don't know who else has had it, but people have laughed at me before when I first started for doing this, and it's a good feeling to, I don't know how to say it politely, but shove 2 fingers up at them, basically.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, well, one of the go lives I did in Germany, and you know, there was 2 people put comments on which I deleted. Well, I hid one and then deleted another, and then on the other go live, someone was just like laughing. I was just like, whatever.
It means you're making an impact, I think.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I take it as a compliment.
Yeah, 100%. And also what they don't realize is any engagement on a page like boosts it in the algorithm. So by them commenting probably actually helps you long term.
Yeah. So on that, I remember so I did a go live, and then I woke up the following. I'd gone to bed and woke up the following day, and I woke up to Mary Tong had basically jumped on my in my defence and annihilated 2 girls who basically were like pyramid this and that, scam and all this and the other. She just absolutely destroyed them, and then they were like, oh no, we didn't mean it like that. Oh, you know, we want James to do well. We're just worried and sorry, like don't want to offend anyone, and then from that I got like one person messaged me on Messenger who I know and was like, mate, can you tell me more about what you're doing, please? Like.
I think, as you said earlier, a lot of my sales have come indirectly or directly from go lives, and people that have marketed me before with other things like products and certain things. A lot of my purchasing decisions, I didn't even realize this until I went back, have come from people doing live videos. So it definitely helps. And if you run really good adverts at the same time as doing mediocre to not good go lives, it's still giving you more. Giving you a higher % chance of sign-ups, you know.
Something I'd like to touch on. Carry on, Grant.
Oh, thank you. I'll be quick. Josh, like you were saying a minute ago, I think, and Adam was saying sticky 2 fingers up. I can't remember what person or what businessman said it, but I think he said, if you are not making somebody else have a negative opinion upon you, then you are doing something wrong. Because obviously, you know, in a world full of opinions, there's going to be somebody who gets annoyed or doesn't relate to what you're doing because it's nothing to do with them. So you can't take it to heart. You just got to, you know, move forward with it. But go live's definitely the place to be doing it. I think, Joanne, you commented saying that you're scared to get on and do it. And like Josh just said, jumping on this call, this is a bit of confidence. I mean, if you jump out on here, I mean, this is giving me the confidence to go and do a go live later or tomorrow because it's nice to be able to talk. I feel more comfortable talking to you guys. And right now and being on here gives you that chance to have a practice talking about things, which is really good, you know, before you go and do a go live.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is that if you take the comparison of what we said earlier about building confidence back to when you were at school, the first day you went to high school, you would have been shitting yourself. It doesn't matter who you were, you'd have been shitting yourself. But then by the time you get to year 11 and it's your first day of year 11, you're like, well, whatever. The year 7s are going to be shitting themselves more than me.
Yeah, nobody starts good at go lives. I'm not having that anybody starts good. If they do, they're like, because even if you're a good public speaker, it's just very different to do it in a camera. Well, it is. So nobody starts well. And I always watch. One thing I really find helps me is I follow people that do go lives every day, and I just follow them, as in watch what they do and try and emulate parts that I like, change parts I don't like. And you'll find that if you do that, there's loads of people that do that, by the way, that you can follow. You'll see exactly their structure. And I know guys that run their entire business through go lives. They don't have any. They don't even have a funnel like we've got. They don't have any of those extra things that we have. They literally just do it. That's their whole business. So that just shows how powerful these can be. And if you combine that with the funnel that we have, it's just incredible, I think, to be honest.
You are correct as well. Speaking in front of people live is completely different to speaking in front of someone by doing this. You know, I've stood up before and spoken in front of like 300 or 400 people, and you know, and I've comfortably done that, and you know, and I've done it in front of 150 people. Done it. It's not a problem at all. And I've walked in, done presentations in a business environment, and done that same thing. And yet, stick a camera in front of me, and when I first did it, I was like, I was shitting myself. I'll be honest with you. I was just like, I think I remember messaging Danielle and Rich going, "Oh God, I've got to press. I've got that." They're just like, just do it. And then you just got to get through that, and boom.
I completely agree, James. I used to be an entertainer, DJ, presenter. Used to present to like 2,000 people, maybe more a night. And getting on that camera to actually do a live, oh my God, I felt so sick. I could not do it for ages. I still can't do it on my live page. I just can't do it still.
Totally different. Do you think is that because it's on your personal page, it's people that you personally know, and or what?
I think that's what it was, because like if I had to say sing in front of a load of people that I knew for like a rehearsal or an audition, I found it so nerve-wracking. But then when I got out on stage and did it in front of people, it was so easy. So maybe it is that whole, oh my God, people I know are going to watch me, people are going to judge me, people are going to comment and tell me like I was crap or something. You know what I mean? Whereas maybe I just need to think about it as I don't know half of these people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of people, like I definitely did as well when I first thought about doing them. I just thought a lot about other people's opinions. I was like, oh, what are they going to think? Or will this go down well? Or what's going to happen when I see people in the street and stuff like that? But when you can like move past that, as in that's just, again, another part of personal development, and you can really focus on the benefits of your business, and that sort of fades away, you'll find that will literally go, and you'll just do the live for you and the business rather than the opinions of somebody else. Is anybody else feeling that way? Because I definitely felt like that.
Yeah.
Me, Josh, and what I think helps as well is just being in this community, because the more you're involved in this community, the more you're on these calls now, the more you're on Sundays, the more posts you put in the group, the more people you speak to, the more messages you exchange with people in the group, the more you don't give a shit about what anyone else outside the group thinks. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and touching on that as well, I mean, if you think about this, if you look at this, essentially this is work, right? So if I was to say that this was like physically like this is how we earn our money. So you put me in an environment of like 3 or 4 years ago, and I was in doing whatever, say let's say IT, project management, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. But if they turn around to you at work and say, look, we're paying you X amount a year, we need you to go live on camera, you've got to go and do this, you're going to do it, right? Because that's your job. And it doesn't really matter what people think around you. You just got to get on and do it, and you just get through it. So you kind of, I suppose, treat this as you would your full-time job, and just get through it and do it, and not worry about what other people's opinions are.
Can I just throw something in the mix?
Yeah.
One thing which I struggled with, and do still struggle with, is thinking of things to talk about that are actually going to give value to other people. So I know a lot of people do things where they'll talk about chapters of books that they've read or stuff like that. It's not something I personally would want to do, and I don't know what I could say to people. Maybe this is a self-limiting belief, but things that I could say to people that would give them value and make them want to watch the go live and want to come back. Is that something anyone else struggles with, like thinking of things that actually give value?
Yeah, I struggle with that.
I don't necessarily think that every single go live you do has to be giving value. Sometimes they could just be, for example, you're going to Milan in the next week.
Yeah.
You could just put a spin on going to Milan, saying that your online business has enabled this, and just do like a mini marketing go live where you just talk about how your online business is enabling you to travel around the world and how other people can have this same travel experience by getting involved and plugging in and starting a business of their own.
So kind of think of it more in terms of advertising to people.
Well, the thing with this, like James touched on, that if you got told at your workplace that you have to go live on Facebook as part of your job, if one of the rules of this community was that you had to go live, which it should be really, because your job is to brand yourself, because you are your own brand, and go lives at the moment, because it's such a new technology, all the social medias are pushing it so much that it's just free marketing. So even if you're not putting massive value out there, just put in a mini marketing, like 2-minute long thing while you're in a scenic place in Milan, will boost your business that much more than chucking out an ad saying, oh, look, here I am in Milan, look at this photo, oh, come and read this text, and then click through to my website.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
When I were in Vietnam with Rai as well, he told me that like sometimes they'll just do a quick go live of something fun, and sometimes they might delete it after, but it gets like people on at the time, and it shows that we do like have fun in the life and job that we're promoting. You don't have to keep it up on your page after.
That's so true. That was like his one with the pizza on the boat. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. And when I was there, he did it, and I filmed it with him and Lewis messing about on the top of that building. And then he deleted it more or less straight after, but he did get quite a lot of numbers on. And then he says, sometimes I just put them on. They might be a bit silly, stupid, but it just shows that we're actually having fun in this life that we're promoting. And it's not all sort of join our online business, blah, blah, blah. It can be just something a bit silly, and it just shows that we're enjoying what we do.
I think a really good way, Harriet, that I've found help is if you work backwards from the end of your go live. So whatever your call to action is going to be, to say like the call to action or the purpose of the go live is to entertain people, you just do something fun. If it's to get leads or sales, then it's a marketing one. So you work backwards. If it's the call to action is a value or personal development or something you think you can give, work backwards to that end goal. So if you know where you're going to end, it stops you rambling. It stops you being like, blah, 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 blah. It has a very clear end point. And I found doing it that way, it doesn't matter what tangent I go off on, I always end up back right where I want it to be. So every time I finish a go live, I feel good as well, because I don't think, was that good? I just think, well, I got there to what I wanted to do, so it doesn't matter now. It's done. Does that make sense, Harriet?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I do find that previous go lives I've done, I get to the end and I'll text a bunch of people in the community that watched it and just go, should I delete that? I've actually just rambled about nothing. So if I do it that way, that's probably going to stop that happening.
I'm not one for deleting, if I'm honest. I know Rye does it, but I'm not sure. I just feel like keeping them up there is, unless it goes like really terribly, which is probably also can be turned into a good thing long term, because you can look back at it and be like, look how terrible I was 2 weeks ago, or look how this went 5 days ago. But again, personal choice. You can delete. Obviously, Rye is Rye and I'm me, so it's very personal. That
rather than delete them, maybe just change it from public to only. So you keep it, and then you might think, let me just turn it back on. And I don't know how Facebook would treat that, but it might, whatever happens, it's still then on your timeline.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Because then when you do eventually want to do like a before and after, you can use that as a before.
Yeah, and people love seeing that. Like, it's so powerful. Like, I think Tom spoke I always lose. Maybe 2 weeks ago about the before and after adverts of like this was there, now this is here. And if you can do that in a video that cannot be adulterated, it cannot be changed. Like people know you can't fake that. That is just so powerful. And even like when you go on to become leaders, if you choose that option in the community, people will want to see where you started from. I definitely wanted to. I went back through Adam's videos. I went back through Lilybeth's. I was a bit of a stalker for a bit. It's important to see that, and your team will have more trust in you. You trust yourself more, so
My
it's probably
first
good
one
to
was
start
11 seconds.
Say that again.
I think it's just good to start bad, but starting is more important, for sure.
Definitely.
What I'd like to add to that, so I think I need to set myself a goal of doing a go live about this first section of a book that I've been reading. It's called The 7 Deadly Wins, and 3 of them are 1 is just do it, 2 is good enough, and the last one is remove emotion from decisions. So if you're going to go live, rather than just going, oh my God, what are people going to say? What are people going to comment? Just go live and deal with those emotions later.
I like that. I think that's amazing. Once you can take the emotion out of it and have, for me, it works having the predefined endpoint. Whatever happens before, don't worry about it. Just know that in a year's time, it will be better to have 15 go lives than no go lives. So,
and it's so true. They do just keep getting viewers, like weeks and weeks and weeks afterwards. Before my go lives in Germany this weekend, I probably hadn't done a video for maybe 2 or 3 months, perhaps. And when I went on my Facebook Ad Manager, it was showing that I was still getting video views every single day from those old videos. So completely agree with that.
Yeah, if I'm happy with one, and obviously I do a go live, then a couple of weeks pass, I just reshare it again to pick up the views again, and it'll
That's
still
such a
show
good idea.
on people's go lives, and the views pick up. Like, say I've got 500 views, reshare it. Within another few days, I've got maybe 800 or 900. It might double.
Yeah.
if you just comment, you don't have to. Well, you can reshare it, or even if you just comment again, it just shows Facebook people are still watching it, and then it will put it back to the top of the algorithm, back to the top of people's news feeds. It's like if you comment on a picture from ages ago, people see like X, Y, and Z has commented on picture from 2007 or whatever. It's the same with videos. It's just you can do it yourself. It's just like it's cheating, but it works. So.
Another thing as well is, so on your ads, you'll see, if you go on the performance and clicks option to review what's going on with your ad, you'll see one where it's click-through rate all. That includes people that are clicking on your name rather than clicking on your link. So they go into your page. If you've got go lives and videos there where they can see you, they can see your story and your mission statement, then they're more likely going to click the back button and they click on your link to see what you're all about further.
Yeah, and if I've listened to podcasts of people that are connected with people inside Facebook, and they say that pages that are doing live videos and getting a lot of interaction, their adverts will be favored in the newsfeed. They don't have a metric for it. There's no like percentage or thing you can see, but they do say that it is. They always say it's likely to be built into Facebook, so you never know if it's true, but I always feel my ads do better if I've been doing videos. So
just to add to that as well, when I had my call with Ferg about 2-3 months ago now, he said that when he started like actively like creating page content like that was authentic and him and doing go lives, he saw like a 20-30% rise in his lead count. Like from the month before to the month after he started actively posting to his page regularly and making content himself, he saw a rise in his content, in his lead count by about 20 or 30%.
Who's going to do a live first?
Well, I was asked a couple of weeks ago by Ryan and Rob to do a live about my results, which after Germany, I think I finally got the answers to do it. So I might step up to the plate tonight or
Have
tomorrow.
you not done one yet, Tom?
I've done a couple lives, yeah. I've not done a proper live though, like about me, like my story, etc.
I'd tune in.
Everyone will tune in anyway. That's what it is. Like even last week when I came on the Mastermind on a Wednesday, I was actually like a bit nervous to talk, so I was muted the whole time. I just listened, and I think what Joanna said in the comments about not being much of a public person. See, to be honest, me as well. I'm not as well. I like when I walk down the street, I would much avoid a conversation than talk to somebody. So like coming on here and I am talking, doing a live, it just shows you 1 week it can be an improvement. So if you want to like gain confidence, just try and get yourself like this is for everybody, anybody. Just try and get yourself on the masterminds, and you don't have to talk. You can just sit and listen. And the more you can add your own things in, and even if you do a 2-minute video, a 2-minute live, whatever it is, you're still doing it.
Yeah, 100%, and it will just grow from there, Brian. Like you do this week, and then next week you could be doing more, and then you'll go on to the weekly mastermind on a Sunday, and before you know it, it just be so natural that this whole weird situation, that this camera and that this all very weird, just becomes so normal. Yeah, and it's good, man. You're definitely right. Like the difference between you last week and you now is unbelievable. So congrats, man. It's quality.
I know. Cheers, mate. And just I want to start doing more as well. Like on the pages, like in Bailey, I texted him before I went on my live, and I was like, "What did you do in your phone?" And he sent me his video, 12-minute video his was, and he was just saying like write down bullet points for something to talk about, like in case you get on the camera and then you go, wait a minute, fuck, what am I going to talk about here? You forget. But I just kept rambling on, and I actually meant to tell people about the magic book that purchase that there, but I haven't read it yet myself, so it would have been a bit stupid. Buy this book. Oh, I haven't read it yet. Oh, sorry.
If there's any consolation, the magic book, I've started it about 5 times.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm going to go and tell people to bed, and then they're going to be like, "What's it about?" I haven't read it yet.
I know Gabby's definitely finished it.
Tashi's read days 1 and 2 about 17 times in a row. She keeps doing day 1, and then she goes to start day 2, forgets to do it, and then has to go all the way back to the beginning again. It's so hard to get through. But Grant was talking. What was the one that Grant was saying about that's much easier?
He was on about the
daily teachings.
Daily teachings, and there's a daily teachings app as well, isn't there, that you can download, install. It's not going to clear up, but you.
I want to get that. That looks good. I'm actually just doing what you guys said right now. I'm literally reposting a go live that I did a little while ago, just before, like when I bought the tickets to Dusseldorf. I did a go live. I'm now like posting that again with an update. Thanks for the idea, guys.
I also think a really good way to get comfortable with lives is try and make a vlog or try and make an actual edited video. And it is so hard. Oh my life. Like it looks easier because it's so polished. But when you actually try and do it, I don't know if it's just me that finds this, but it takes so long. Like to make a 5-minute video, you can be editing, filming, producing, cutting, all of these things for the same message that you can do in 10 minutes on a live like that prepare 10 minutes, done, 20 minutes, boxed off, results, whatever. Whereas a video, I get so self-critical of a video. I'm like, nah, that needs changing. Before you know it, it's a week, you know? I don't know if anybody else gets that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's that's normal, natural, you know. It's like anything you do, I'm super critical of my own self and things I do. So if I'm putting a presentation together or whatever it may be, you know, that will take me forever, and I'll be, oh no, that's crap, take that out, or whatever it may be. And the ones I actually recall the one I did for the drones, and it was in front of about 40 people, I think it was. And in fact, I remember the first one I did, and I wasn't so super confident. I only just started in the drones, and I didn't deliver it that well. But fast forward sort of 18 months, and then in front of these 40 people, and I'd had it all planned what I was going to say, and I had like a video backing me up and everything else, and I only was supposed to talk for 12 minutes, and I was up there for like 50 minutes. And I just went off on one, and then just talking about everything that I knew. And
Yeah, you don't realise how long you're actually on a video.
You
No.
going off on one, James? Never.
Another story.
Story time with James.
Well, maybe I should do this story time with James.
You know what? Faye's been doing her story time, like circle time, hasn't she? And she's had incredible results from it. So,
James, we spoke about doing that about 4 months ago or something on a call.
It was Morse Matters, wasn't it?
It's the same story time. People will listen though, man. Like the more you do it, you'll build as I always say to people, I think I say this on every call, you need 34 direct trifecta sales to be 6A. And like you can get that on live videos or you can get that on ads. It's going to work either way. Just give yourself more opportunities to get there quicker, in my opinion. That's the bottom line.
just to make a note there, though, you said 34 direct trifecta sales. They don't all have to be direct, just for newbies.
Well, it's just 34 totals, 34 total trifectas, but you do still need your 6/7 to rank up.
I'm just aiming for direct, and then the downline could be a bonus. So.
Exactly.
I think, I mean, going on that, like when we were in Germany, I think we all, I don't know if you all agree, we realised, like, you know, you look at a lot of the guys from Romania and places like that, and a lot of them were working offline, and, you know, it's taken some people years to get to 6A, and then Adam's done it in super quick time, and so, and it just proves that what we're doing online, it works, and it works.
They can't believe it, can they, James?
No.
These people we spoke to were gobsmacked, weren't they?
Well, the fact that most of them didn't even know what a trifecta was.
Did you get them to sign up?
Yeah, nobody did.
They were already affiliated.
Oh,
A trifecta.
oh, CEO movement.
Bilaj made the trifecta term up like 3 or 4 years ago. So it's not like it's just the name for it, what we call it. It's not like.
But no, they asked what it was as well. The people I spoke to, and the idea of selling 3 products to one person was completely alien.
Yeah. It takes forever to do it offline. Imagine like that live video, James, that has 2,500 views. Imagine trying to get 2,500 bookings done, demos.
Well, this is the thing. The training in the morning were focused on presentations of the products and people going to hotels and having meetings 5 days a week in hotels and getting 30, 40, 50 people in the hotel. And then what happens at the end when everyone leaves? We don't have that problem. We've got everyone in front of his computer.
It's all part of the 90% automated system. It's done for you.
Exactly.
The thing is as well is Enagic is just about to launch a pretty similar system to what we've been using for the last, what the online team have been using for the last 4 or 5 years. And Enagic are just jumping on board and offering this to their distributors.
And it's nowhere near as good as ours.
It's nowhere near as good.
And it's just difficult. Like you can have an automated funnel, that's all great, but if it's not attached to a community where people can belong, it's essentially useless. You're still doing the same job, but just with a system, it doesn't really add up. So you need the funnel and the community for it to work realistically. Otherwise, people go through the funnel and then they're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So
they want to charge £25 or euros a month for it as well in Enagic.
Yeah, and you're not getting the training, are you? So you're not. Are those people going to know how to? They're going to have to teach themselves, and not just there's no community, there's no support.
Well, there was a lady there that had just hit 6A after 4 years, had just hit 6A, and it took her so long because her entire upline quit right before she joined, and she had to do everything herself. So we are so lucky to have the community that we've got.
I'm glad you touched on that, Harriet, because I think that was probably the one story that resonated with me the most. The fact that we have this community of over 1,100 people now where you can just reach out and talk to any of them. It doesn't matter if they're not in our up or down line. We can just reach out. Like, for example, me and James, we talk about doing stuff all the time. I know Harriet and James jump on calls weekly to discuss where they want to go with their businesses and stuff, and they're not in the same downline or upline. So just the opportunity to work with each other in this community is far greater than what any other like Enagic distributor has outside of this online community that we have.
Yeah, you're just not competing. That's one thing you'll always find there. You'd think naturally that there'd be competition, like I won't tell people this because then I don't get any financial reward. You'd think that's what it would be, but it's probably the complete opposite, which is in itself is you're not just going to get that anywhere else, are you? So,
no.
Like even this mastermind alone, you think like, I don't know what up, down, downlines makes no difference, does it? It's just the same. You just come, give value, go away, better, and do the same every week, twice a week, actually.
Yeah. I mean, and then just like one other final point about that event, like the Romanians were there, and they've got a big team at the minute, and the guy that is probably top of the tree in Romania is
he's the highest ranked distributor in the entirety of Europe now.
Yeah. What is he, Tom? 6A6-4?
Yeah.
So he started his business 8 years ago, and in 2012, I think he went to an Enagic event in Europe. I think.
Yeah, it was the Open event.
Paris.
Paris
was it? And basically, so that is 6 years ago. He went to this event, and he was the only Romanian guy there on that stage, and at the event. I don't know how many people were there, and he's built his team up, and there must have been at least 50 Romanians on that stage
easily
or higher, and the average wage in Romania is about 300 to 400 euros a month, and the average machine price we know is between 3,000 and 4,000 euros, and that just shows that if that team can make sales in that country where the cost of living is really low compared to us and other countries in Europe, then we can all definitely do it. There's no reason why none of us can't do that. What they've done.
If you stay in the community, the pathway is laid out. Like it's not like you're starting a business. You don't know where you're going to end up. You don't know if it'd be a success. If you just stay in, keep running ads, keep doing lives, keep plugging away, you know where you're going to end up. I know where I'll be. I know where Tom, James, Brian, everybody on this call is going to be. If you just keep going, that's the only thing you've got to do.
The benefit is you never go backwards either. It's impossible to go backwards.
Yeah, no one wants to go back.
You can only go forwards. And touching on that guy from the Enagic event, in the 8 years that he's been involved, he's only traded within Romania, and he's had 836 sales.
I mean,
That's 100 a year, obviously. It's just my mind was blown when these numbers were going up and these people were going up and this story was going up. I was just thinking, I was thinking about what he's done, and I was relating back down to what we can do and how quick we can all get there. And you just can't. You're just wondering what is it actually going to be like when we all get on that stage.
There was another guy as well, just to add even more like shock to the system, that did 1,557 sales in 10 years.
Wow, that's like, what's that? 4 a week, 3 or 4 a week on average. Goodness me.
There was a girl who did 6 hours in one day as well, wasn't there?
Oh, never mind telling tall stories all night long.
There's a guy that guy in GPM did 6A-2 in 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah, Brian Hodgson.
Yeah, Brian Hodgson. Yeah, and the other guy, Matthew Jang, did 6A-2 in a year or something.
Yeah,
6A2-3 in 18 months.
It's easy for him, isn't it?
One thing I really took away from Dusseldorf, though, is that it doesn't matter how long it takes. There are so many people that were at that event who had got to, say, 6A2-3, and it had taken them 5 years. And so in the online world, that's quite a long time to get to that rank perhaps. But you've just meant that you don't ever have to work another day for the rest of your life if you don't want to. And that's only taken you 5 years. So I just took that away. That's the main thing I took away, that it does not matter how long it takes, as long as you keep plugging in, keep doing something.
Even if it takes you 10 years, you're not going to get the upside in anything else. I just literally don't see it being possible. Like,
compare that to a corporate job.
Exactly.
50 years of the game.
Go on, Brian.
Like, even if it is 5 to 10 years, even if it does take you 5 years, it's not like you're going to be working 40 hours a week. You're going to be traveling, doing what you want, enjoying life while working online. People don't understand it. That's why they don't want to get into it for.
I agree, man. And if you keep that mindset for the foreseeable, it's all going to be good. Right, I'm gonna jump off there.
Yeah, I am as well.
Right then, it's been a quality call.
Yeah.
Peace.
I'll
Have
see
a good
you
one. See you on the lives. Tag everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
See you later.
Yeah.